which means Tiana Robertson is on the bench this afternoon. And with Tash Pryor unavailable after playing with the Matildas during the week, in comes Josie Allen. And new American signing, Gia Vicari, is on the bench. Her first time we've seen her in the matchday squad for the Newcastle Jets this season. We'll see if she comes on the park and is able to impact the scoring, something the Newcastle have struggled with so far this season. And Lauren Allen has been such an important part of the Newcastle Jets setup in recent seasons, such a goal-scoring threat, but this season she is increasing her output in terms of crosses, 27 crosses to her name this season, the most throughout the competition. Newcastle do it more than anybody else, so she can get her delivery right for her teammates and they can be ready in the box. Another avenue of goal for the Newcastle Jets, who I've mentioned. Goals are what they're looking for. They've got the same amount of goals as Adelaide United, 6 apiece, but they've had far more chances. They've got the second in terms of expected XG, just haven't been able to put it away. But Lauren Allen is one of those players who's certainly capable of doing that. And there is Adrian Stenter. He's a smiling man, and he should be a smiling man so far this season. His Adelaide United side are performing incredibly well. At this point last season, they'd conceded 10 goals to this game. So far, they've only conceded 4. They've been really, really good. And our referee for this afternoon's match, Beth Rattray. Assistant referee, Paula Orlandi. Delphine Shakespeare, and a fourth official, Georgia Ghirardello. And there is Ryan Campbell. He had to make a big decision. Danielle Krajinac and Tiana Robertson. Robertson got her debut in this fixture last season. And he will be looking, and that proves to be the right choice with Krajinac back in goals, more experienced of the two. And it will be Adelaide United who get us underway in this fixture at Service FM Stadium. Big 3 points up for grabs. And here we go. Long ball forward. It's going to go straight out of play. So Newcastle, they basically get the start with a long throw down the line. Sarah Morgan chasing it down. That's forced out of play. So Adelaide side. It's fantastic to have Fiona Worth score 4 goals this season. They've had 6 goals, only 2 goal scorers, Emily Condon and Fiona Worth. But defensively, they've been so much better. Haven't been giving up many big chances at all. 16 shots on target faced the whole season. So they don't give up many, and they're not conceding, as that ball's given away, but it's going to go straight to Claudia Jenkins, who is continuing her run in goal for Adelaide United. Ali Grove on the bench, so still has to fight for her position. Grove, if she wants it back, was a consistent member of the Adelaide goals in previous seasons, but this season, Claudia Jenkins has got the nod. Sent forward by Healy, but it's out of play by Claudia Chico, who fresh off her first ever Ninja A-League goal. See if she can get on the score sheet again. This time out wide for Healy. Spinning, finds some space. That ball's far for Leon. Does well to shield the ball away. Now it's going to be forced a little bit wider than she probably would like. That ball doesn't travel very far in the end. Gallagher, smart touch, but couldn't find an awaiting teammate. There's Sarah Morgan. Ever reliable in that number 6 role. It's been good this season, just dictating the pace and the play for Adelaide. Bauman. That was certainly a tackle that you're probably feeling in the morning from Zoe Tolan on Josie Allen. So we see, with no Tash Pryor available for Ryan Campbell, will it be Cass Davis who sits in the defence at times? That challenge once again. Tolan had a good season so far to start. Just misjudged that tackle. They want to play quickly early on. Sending it forward. Krajinac Clears it long, but only as far as Sarah Morgan. So a chance for Adelaide. Healy. Pass touch too heavy. Jenkins. Doesn't get the contact desired, so it's going to come straight back with Newcastle. So they make their way forward through Hoban, and that pass too strong for Lauren Allen. Tonkin once again captaining the side. I don't know if we're playing a little past the parcel. Christmas is nearing. Finally, Claudia Jenkins is going to get play restarted. That goes over. And so it's going to be a corner. It took a touch on the way through. Libby Copus-Brown, who is back in the starting 11. He's coming off the bench in the last game. It's blocked by Leon. Allen loses out. Morgan. Leon couldn't control that pass. Hoban. Chico. Wilson. Bauman. And that pass too close in the end to the Adelaide defence. McNamara, her first sight of her. Another call up to the Matildas, has one cap already. Didn't get any minutes in this international window, but promising to be in the squad and be in and around it. Works, smart flick on, but Davis read it well, able to shield the ball. Bauman, they're retreating. This is where they've had dangers. Newcastle at times. They play with their defence and Danielle Krajinac at times. Jenkins, high ball. Jackson. Very congested this game at the moment. Not a lot of space available for either side to really create. And just as I say that, Fiona Wirtz is out, closely marshalled by Claudia Chico, who finds some relief with her keeper, Krajinac. Remember, Krajinac got that red card in that Perth Glory game. And sat out the following games after that. It was her first start since that game. Allen. Copus-Brown. Now Cass Davis tries to switch it out, and that ball may just sit for Lauren Allen, and it does. Good ball into the box. Josie Allen went for it. Copus-Brown with the volley. Never direct that on target, but that's what I was speaking about at the top of the broadcast with those crosses into the box from Lauren Allen. Newcastle are a side that work wide, get the crosses into the box, make it chaotic. Just got to put those chances away. It's a good place to pick up the ball from Davis. Pass wasn't of the same quality. Leon. It's a smart ball into the path of Healy. Blocked out by Chico. Krajnak a long way out of her goal. First big decision needed to be made. And no call it was. Krajnak coming out of her goal. For a Newcastle fan, might give you some nightmares. Morgan. The challenge there from Allen. Another attempt from Hodgson. Trying to find somebody, Emily Hodgson. Finds Healy. Go to the touchline. Sends it across. It's the side netting. Wirtz. Fiona Wirtz in great form to start this season. 4 goals. She's been so efficient in terms of her shots on target this season. This season has had 23 total shots. 15 of them have been on target, and only 5 have been off. The other 3 have been blocked. Anyway, White, she was the Julie Dolan medalist winner. Copus Brown up against Morgan. Healy. Nice for a chase. Got options in the middle, and that's where the ball goes. Condon up against Krajnak. Krajnak wins that battle. Those through balls from Adelaide. Seeing those warning signs. Spellman went to ground. Still the foul during play. We're going to see the first yellow card of the game, and it's not quite sure who it's gone to. Quite sure, so we'll wait for confirmation to take a look at that again. And Sheridan Gallagher just coming through the back, I believe, of Emily Hodgson. Physical player, Sheridan Gallagher. Loves a battle. Put her body on the line. Tolland to Morgan, under pressure immediately from Copus Brown. And streaming through the middle, they pick it up. It's Hoban, out wide now to Lauren Allen. Couldn't get the first touch right, but recovers well. Can't find an inch of space from Ella Tonkin. Smart work from Hoban to go out to Allen. Just couldn't find that space from Ella Tonkin, one of the best young centre-backs in this competition. Good ball from Copus Brown. Got the first knock and then saved off the line. I believe it was Emily Hodgson who stuck a boot out to deny Newcastle opening goal of the game, but it was a good ball from Copus Brown. They got the flick on, and then the outstretched boot. That's why you've got to have somebody on the post. Copus Brown once again. This time can't get fast. First player. Still the ball bobbles around and over the bar. Bauman was very close for that dropping perfectly, but it didn't look like Jenkins had it covered for the most part. It's always dangerous. That second ball after a corner. Have to be alert. Ball from Jenkins. And there is a chase. Foot race, but Chico continues her fine form this season. Which are probably one of her best games in the competition. Standing strong in that battle. Such a good one-on-one defender. Davis. Davis. That pass just off. And a really lively crowd at Service FM Stadium, making a lot of noise. That's what we want from these Ninja A-League games, the atmosphere, and they've always got a good supporter base to come out and support them. Adrian Stenser be pleased with the options going forward. They just haven't been able to really get a shot away. Been a threat from the set pieces so far. What can they produce? Another dangerous fizzing ball punched away by Jenkins. Will it drop for anybody? No, it won't, and Wirtz clears it, but it will return. Copus Brown. Wilson. Gallagher waiting on the edge of the box. It's a dangerous ball for Bauman. Able to get it away just in time. Jackson wants to play quickly. Back to Jackson. Gallagher. Wider than where she typically would like to be, and blocked by Leon. Sharon Gallagher's boot was certainly in the field of play when she took that throw, but got away with that one that time. Davis. Interesting to see if either side can really gain a semblance of control. This fixture sustained possession for a few minutes. But it's going to be called back, I believe, for the foul. So initially advantage was played, so it's going to be a free kick for Newcastle. See the turn from... just nudged as making the play forward. This time, maybe Copus Brown doesn't stand with the ball as a set piece. So Sheridan Gallagher and Cass Davis certainly have got the ability to set a teammate up. Gallagher probably could go for it. And there it goes, over the bar. I don't know if it's got the highest XG, that chance, but when you've got players who can get that sort of power generated, like Sheridan Gallagher, you might as well. Just always sailing over the crossbar. Tonkin. High ball, just getting held up in the wind, it looks like. Healy. Morgan. Bring it back immediately is Adelaide. Holland switches it straight to Lorena Bauman, who just leaves a little bit too much room between herself and the ball. But we'll stay with Newcastle. Leon. Dewey. Applying that press in Newcastle. Not allowing Adelaide any time on the ball. Hoban wins out against Tonkin. Copus Brown working near the edge of the box, but not on the same page as Lauren Allen that time. But a timely block from Sheridan Gallagher keeps possession where they would like Newcastle. Switching it out, a good ball. Jackson wide of goal. Jackson, 1 goal to her name so far this season, but it was a inviting ball from Sheridan Gallagher, but Jackson just couldn't steer that ball goalward. Jenkins. Sheridan Gallagher just coming through the back of Sarah Morgan, but that's not awarded a free kick. Healy. It works through the middle, but they've got so many numbers, Newcastle. Running back. Clearly making the effort for their defensive shape, not just with their defense, but as a whole squad. Not allowing those transition kind of goals and moments to cost them. Hodgson. Looking for somebody, and finally Sarah Morgan comes a long way to retrieve. Good ball into the box, but I believe the flag had been raised. Krajanak. It's interesting to see if Adelaide want to use a press against Newcastle, who've had trouble at times this season with playing out from the back, particularly Krajanak. Goal they conceded against the Brisbane Roar in the opening round of the season. And she was put under pressure. And we see the tug back from Zoe Toland against Josie Allen. It'll be an interesting contest to watch all afternoon, evening, in about 8 minutes' time. Chico, Bauman. Not quite sure why that's being called back. Not sure if Beth Rattray had finished writing. She needed to. Bauman finds it quickly off Allen and then couldn't return the favour. So Zoe Toland awarded a yellow card for that tug of Josie Allen. one too many times. Leon. Gallagher. Wants to shoot, doesn't have the angle. Jackson. Cuts inside, still Devon Jackson. Copus Brown now. Can she find an entry into goal? And that's a dangerous ball. Sophie Hope was close behind. That Devon Jackson shot blocked in the follow-up. Now Tolland. Can she send her side forward? Krajanak calmly finds Bauman. Davis. Claudia Chico wasn't ready for that pass. Bauman just tripped up Fiona Wirtz in the build-up, and can understand why Adelaide wanted the free kick. Fortunate for them, Fiona Wirtz is probably the most player you wouldn't want to get left behind in a counter-attacking piece of play. Jackson dropping deep to collect. Good switch of play, but it might just be asking a little bit too much of Lauren Allen. Minutes since this game, Newcastle with the lion's share of possession. They haven't been able to capitalise. Must be tinkering in Ryan Campbell's mind. How can he unlock this side? They've had 13 big chances created. They've only scored one. That is not the return you're after if you have ambitions of making the top six and going even further. Positive sign for Newcastle is 6 goals this season, 6 new goal scorers, 6 individual goal scorers. It's more accurate. As Zoe Tolland once again fouling Josie Allen. She has to be very, very careful. We're only 26 minutes into this game. On a yellow card, she cannot be lunging in for tackles like that. I'm not sure if Newcastle are going to persist attacking down on this left-hand side. Will Adrian Stenter take the risk of keeping Zoe Tolland in if she's been forced to chase down Allen? Seen some deflected free kicks find the back of the net for Brisbane Roar, for Melbourne City. Can Newcastle get some luck? Can Libby Copus Brown find a teammate? Sets a teammate up. The header was won by the Reds, and that looked like a handball off Sophie Oben's arm, and that is the call. Lauren Allen was just sandwiched between two, and Morgan's clearance coming off Hoban. Ball out wide to Hodgson. Healy making something out of nothing. Didn't look like the favour was on her side to win that battle. Able to do so. Condon. Back to Condon. Pulled, tugged, and losing out. Fast feet from Allen. A smart ball. Gallagher has lots of space to attack and got numbers in the middle. Sits it up, and that looked like it came off the chest of Leon. And Morgan gets some distance. Hodgson, good measure, but it will come back. That is an alarming stat if you're Adrian Stenter. No shots to Newcastle 6. Copus Brown, forced wide, able to keep it in play. Not for long. But once again, another Newcastle corner. They've been feasting so far with possession, with chances. Overall, putting this Adelaide defence, who've been stellar so far this season, under a lot of pressure. They do not give up a lot of shots generally, and particularly a lot of shots on target. Copus Brown plays short. Allen still driving through, and a shove, but play continues. Allen takes a deflection off Matilda McNamara. That wind is certainly a factor this half. Ball just sat up in the air. Nice work from Sean Dewey. And Ella Tonkin had to be alert of the surrounding Newcastle players, and Fiona Wirtz one-on-one against Sophie Hoban. Under pressure, shielding. You can only shield for so long. Finally wins out for a free kick. Adelaide out that time, but Wirtz didn't have anybody coming in support. Ryan Campbell just saying, I have a sneaking suspicion. And he was speaking to Josie Allen, saying that Zoe Toland is terrified of you. Run at her again. There are many benefits to that if you are Ryan Campbell. Josie Allen wins out, or Zoe Toland might be forced to make a tackle that she may regret, already sitting on a yellow card. Wirtz, nicely done, into the path of Healy. Healy with the strike! Well wide. But it was a chance, their first shot on goal. It was getting dragged back, got good power on it, but couldn't direct it. It's the path of Danielle Krajnak. Davis, Allen. Couldn't control that pass. Leon. Wins her side. The corner. You can see the Red Army behind. Appreciate them coming along, making some noise. Some really great supporter bases throughout the competition. Maybe small in numbers, but they make a lot of noise. Wirtz, good ball into the box. Leon rose the highest. Couldn't make contact. It's going to be a goal kick. Leon rose, but she didn't get the contact. The initial one was from Josie Allen, and it just took a slight deflection off her on the way through. Allen, this time against Leon. So, Michelle Leon, playing as the winger, is going to really need to come and support Zoe Toland. Come out and help her out. Double up, not allow Allen to get a free run. Condon couldn't get control of that pass. Bauman, Copus Brown. And that's one back. Krajnak well out of her goal, but right decision. Otherwise, it was going to be a clear run on goal for either Healy or Wirtz. To take your pick.
All right, girls, are we ready?
So we saw a lot of Tiana Roberts. That's a high ball. Has to be careful. Dropped it momentarily, but able to recover. It's an inviting ball. quite sure how that has happened for Adelaide, where they've just conceded a corner off one pass. Maybe like to have that moment back, particularly if Newcastle are able to score off this corner, their 6th of the game. Brown, I don't think she hit it as sweetly as she would have liked, as Allen, maybe a swing and a miss. Bauman, inviting ball. Copus Brown couldn't get it the first time. Can they get it another time? They can't. Chico. Not able to be controlled by Josie Wilson. It was a good ball into the box by Lorena Bauman. And just too many numbers for Adelaide crowding Newcastle. Morgan, well worked to find Dewey, but ran straight into traffic. Copus Brown. Maybe was headed away by McNamara. Only one shot on target so far. So Adelaide continuing the trend of not allowing real dangers and threats up against their keeper, Claudia Jenkins. So for all the shots they've had, Newcastle haven't really threatened Jenkins. So those last-ditch kinds of recoveries from Adelaide that prevents those things from happening. So the amount of pressure they've sustained and had to deal with in this half, it is still 0-0. They've done well to limit the quality chances that Newcastle have needed. Allen didn't have a lot of support. Found the only one in Copus Brown. That one's blocked. Another corner. Good ball from Copus Brown, but Jenkins perfectly positioned underneath. It's going to be one of my favourite hairstyles in the competition from Claudia Jenkins. It's unique, it's colourful. It feels like high effort for a quality player. Well worked by Tonkin. Hoban. Still Hoban. Finds Allen. Loved this matchup all game and finds a nice bit of space. Still Allen. Can she get across? And she does, but so a couple of deflections on the way through. There's Allen. Back into the squad, back into the starting 11. Making a major impact, being probably the most lively player for Newcastle going forward. Love to see a little bit more from the likes of Sheridan Gallagher and Lauren Allen. And right on cue. They both make an appearance. Hodgson. Wirtz. Condon. Nice bit of 1-2 play. Up against Josie Wilson. Has to be smart, Fiona Wirtz, looking for some teammates to come forward. Condon with a poor touch. Haven't had many chances going forward, Adelaide, so they cannot give it away. Those kinds of areas where they're a threat on goal. Adelaide still in search of their first home win this season. The 2 wins have come away from home. Just another victory. Opening day, late winner. Gallagher just deflected.
Drop a little. Support feet. Support feet.
Krajnak sets that ball in between 2. Gallagher picks it up. Got Bauman in support. Gallagher goes for the box and probably wasn't the best pass or decision in the end. Played 40 minutes in this first half already. It's gone very quickly. Newcastle dominating the lion's share of possession. Haven't had many shots on target. They have had shots though. Hodgson. Wilson. Now to Krajnak. Just sends it long. So, feels like a slight change for Ryan Campbell with Danielle Krajnak, where particularly in the earlier games that Krajnak was playing, they were more willing to play shorter passes from the back line and try and build up, but haven't been doing that as much in this game. Krajnak, every time she's getting the ball, is clearing it further. Just maybe a workaround to try and... Krajnak looked like she was out of the box, and she certainly was. Will there be a card shown? If we take a look at that again, so the ball drops outside, and she... That is borderline. I am not quite sure what was happening there. But if she did pick the ball up outside the box, she has to get a card, surely, and it is going to be a yellow card for Danielle Krajnak in her return game. You could tell that she wasn't quite sure when she picked up the ball, but from that angle, I'm not 100% certain, but it's not the kind of fine line if you're Ryan Campbell you want your goalkeeper to be playing with, particularly in their return. So a chance now for Adelaide to capitalise. Had few and far between chances. Can they punish Newcastle? Condon sets it up and Krajnak fumbles the ball. Wirtz still bubbling around. Can they push it over the line? They finally do. It wasn't dealt with by Krajnak the first time. took a couple of touches. Not quite sure which Adelaide player got the final touch to push it through, but it felt like an NFL sort of push into the back of the net. And Krajinac is down at that near post. So we take a look at that. A good ball from Emily Condon. Still bubbling around, and Fiona Worth, I think, gets the final touch to push it over the line. But we'll have a look at it one more time. McNamara in a battle with Chico, putting the pressure up against Krajinac, who did not get her hands fully through. And there you see, bobbling around. I think Fiona Worth is right to claim it. It doesn't really matter if you're Adelaide and you're Adrian Stenser, because it is a one-goal lead for Adelaide United. Now, Matilda McNamara, she is going to get awarded with the goal. Maybe Fiona Worth maybe bringing up the tape when the game closes to really inspect it. But Matilda McNamara, officially listed as a goal scorer, becomes Adelaide's third goal scorer of the season. Fiona Worth does have 4 to her name already, so I'm sure she wouldn't mind to give this one goal up. Keeley, able to find a way through. Don't know how she did it. In a foot race with Bauman, forced a little bit wider than she would have liked, and good save to the near post from Krajinac. There's going to be 2 minutes added on. Georgia Ghirardello bringing it up. Condon. High ball to the near post. Krajinac able to punch it away. Only as far as Dewey. Back out to Condon. And this time Lauren Allen wins out, but only for a moment. Dewey. Ball sitting in the air for a while. McNamara, and now Healy. That was nice. Lob and volley. Wirtz to the ground momentarily. How disappointing if you are Newcastle to concede a goal in this half in which you've probably dominated the lion's share of possession, the chances. There is the goal scorer, Matilda McNamara, was called up to the Matildas squad during this last international window. Didn't get any minutes, didn't get out there on the field, but any chance to be around the national team squad is always great for a player. She does have a cap to her name. Now she has a goal as well. Ball's into the box, but headed away. Hodgson, still following Gallagher. Cass Davis, just over the bar. She only scores the spectacular. That's going to be the final action of the first 45 minutes. Matilda McNamara's goal separates the two sides, her first goal since 2022. What a way to have gotten it. Very chaotic. And it does not matter how they find the back of the net, so long as it does. Frustrating first 45 for the Newcastle Jets. Had their chances, had their moments, but weren't able to capitalise, weren't able to get enough shots on target. Fiona Worth maybe pulling up the tape at half-time, not quite sure. But for Adelaide, they lead this game heading into half-time, and that is all that matters. Half-time, it's Adelaide United 1, Newcastle Jets 0. Take a look at the action in the first 45 minutes. The set pieces were a threat, all bobbling around. not cleared, and Bauman, chance, I don't know how much he really knew about it. Just over the crossbar in the end. They had chances, but they were very chaotic in a sense for Newcastle when you had a look at them. And here is the goal. Good ball into the box from Condon, then Krasniak didn't deal with it and then forced over the line. McNamara getting the goal, but take a look at that. Krasniak didn't get it the first time, and then it just bobbled around and took a couple of touches. But take a look at that halftime stats. 56% of possession, and it certainly felt like that. Newcastle had a lot of the ball, a lot of shots, but only one on target. Story of their season so far for Adelaide United, 4 shots, 2 on target, and that's all that matters. That 1 goal difference that separates the two sides. A little bit need to be mindful. They do have that 1 yellow card to Zoe Tolan, who's been under a lot of pressure from Josie Allen in this first 45. So will we see a change from Adrian Stenter when we come back from halftime? Well, it's been a grand final rematch from 2 years ago. Western United taking on Sydney FC. That game kicked off earlier than ours. So we will take a look at the first half highlights between the Western United and Sydney FC. As we take a look at Sydney FC having some chances. As you see Amy Medwin charging down the wing. And that ball into the box, and that chance, good save in the end to force that over the crossbar to deny Kiwa Hieda. Connors, that effort just wide of goal. Outstretched arm of Chloe Lincoln was never going to reach that, but Shay Connors just wide. Sydney FC had a lot of really good chances in this first 45. Hawkesby with that delivery into the box, and Lincoln where she needed to be. Fresh off her Matilda's debut against Chinese Taipei last night, so 2 games in 2 days, and now Shay Connors through on goal. That one wide once again, but it was 0-0 at half-time in this game. Still going on, so Princess Sabini, such an important player for Sydney FC, just not able to get that chance away. But can either of those sides break the deadlock? Western United without Chloe Lagazzo in that fixture. Well, Coach Casey Dumont is back in the Ninja A-League and up against her former side. And here's what she had to say ahead of her 150th career A-League women's appearance.
Yeah, so I think I'll be the first goalkeeper to hit that milestone. So I think that itself makes me very proud, and be able to put a smile on my face. Like, to have that moment would be awesome. I think I'll have that breather and actually accept it once the game's finished, because obviously we have a job, and that job is to go out, match victory, and actually come away with points. But yeah, it's really nice to know that the young 15-year-old Casey that started many years ago is finally hitting one of the biggest milestones that will happen in women's soccer in Australia. I think we just need to focus on our game plan, and if we do that, then we'll be very pleased with our performance. Obviously, we've gone over previous games analysis, and we've had glimpses where it's been amazing, and then we've had moments where we've just switched off a little or just gone passive. Whereas I think if we stick to what we've been told to do, then we'll come away with what we need to come away with. But against Victory, they're one of the top teams all the time. So I think we need to make sure we're very switched on and ready for them, because they're also a bit of a surprise package. They come up with combinations that you didn't think they were planning for it, but look at the weekend, the Emily Gilnick's on fire with making sure the quick transitional moments. So yeah, I think rest defence is going to be important, but I think also too, our attacks can be lethal when we have all our attackers working in pairs and trios and everything like that. So it could be anyone's game. I honestly believe that.
Well, Casey Dumont, 150th appearance up against the Melbourne Victory. Last time she faced them, she denied them in the finals. But Perth Glory up against Melbourne Victory, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Catch that on 10 Play and Paramount Plus. That's going to be an absolutely thrilling game at the Sam Kerr Football Centre. The first game at that ground for the Perth Glory. Well, the second half will be underway soon, but first, here's a reminder of how you can keep up to date with all things A-Leagues.
Hello, welcome to the Isuzu Ute A-League download.
Am I talking about the right game?
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome to Dub Zone. A lot of big names have gone, a lot of leaders have gone.
Hello and welcome to Total A-Leagues.
I still think he's in the top couple of strikers in the league.
They employ that high press, which makes it extremely hard to play out of.
Welcome to the wall. You know who it reminds me of? The Pringles logo.
Some amazing content there to catch up on all things A-Leagues throughout the week, so make sure you don't miss out on all that. But a big second half underway. Adelaide United one step closer to getting their first home win of the season with a 1-goal lead, courtesy of a Matilda McNamara chance. A lot of work to be done for Newcastle, but a lot of positive signs. All things considered from the first half, they had the lion's share of possession. They had more shots, but they just couldn't get them on target. That's what they need to convert. They've got Gia Vakari on the bench, the American, available. And for Adelaide United, a goal up. They'll be feeling really confident this season. They have been great. They have been great. And there is the man from the North Pole. You know, Christmas is important and the Elves are great, but the Ninja A-League is more important, and watching Adelaide versus Newcastle on a Sunday afternoon is where Santa wants to be. I think he's got the right call. There is Devon Jackson. Will Newcastle be getting a present from Santa? He was wearing an Adelaide shirt, all things considered, so maybe that's why they got that goal bumbling in, but doesn't matter. Big 45 minutes coming up. Newcastle Jets and Adelaide United. Fiona Wirtz, did she pull up the tape at halftime, or was that a full-time activity? I'm sure she's very happy for Matilda McNamara to have scored. But as a striker, they're always going to have that little bit of selfish energy to be so prolific. Devon Jackson would certainly like to get back on the score sheet. She's got 1 goal to her name so far this season. Like to make that 2. Allen, hitting the line. Morgan. Jackson. Bauman finds the feet of Jackson. Don't know if that was the pass it was initially intended, but it's where it found itself. Wilson. Allen. Got Hoban making the run through, but Morgan saw the run. Followed alongside. Now Allen, high ball into the box, over the back of Leon, but that header never had the power to trouble Jenkins. Ball, Leon didn't read it, just had to hope nobody got the contact. Hoban. Chico. Bauman. One back nicely by Leon. Condon alongside. Don't have many numbers forward. Adelaide have to be patient against Bauman. Goes to the touchline and going to run out of space, it looks. And It's going to be a corner. First of the second half. Krajanak. How will she fare? Only seen one slight error lead to goal. Works. High ball to the far post. And I don't think it stayed into the field of play for very long. It is very strong down at Service FM Stadium. Saw it a few times in the first half, and Adelaide were trying to make their way forward. The ball just getting held up in the air. Davis. Gallagher took it down well, but forced wide. Just looking for the foul call, didn't get it. A quiet game for Sheridan Gallagher. Haven't seen her involved in very many instances. Jackson. Sending it well wide.
Good girls, start. Start. Wonderful chest, drop on low.
McNamara. A little bit of confusion and chaos. Allen working her way through. Copus Brown on the edge of the box this time and left it behind. Not sure what happened there. Condon to Leon. Tried to find Wirtz. Didn't look like it was going to, and it has now. Wirtz finding Healy. Bobbling around. Krajanak had to get it on the second effort. Oh, how Erin Healy would like to get her first goal. The Adelaide colours. Hoban. Almost left it behind as well. Well marshalled by Sarah Morgan. And that ball is going to go out of play. A cheap corner given away. Wirtz trying to return the favour to Healy, who's set her up so many times this season. Great connection between the two. Healy plays it short to Leon. Back to Healy. Gallagher with a big challenge. Both players getting up quickly, and now Gallagher sending it into the stands. Look at that. Both brave players. Healy got there first, got the ball. I don't know if we're going to classify that as a technical nutmeg, but I think in the nutmeg law book, it goes. It goes. Hodgson. Copus Brown. Ball down nicely by Jackson. Allen picks up the mantle and given away. And now can Fiona Wirtz beat out Claudia Chico, who's been so good one-on-one. And once again, Claudia Chico stands tall. That is her bread and butter. So good, Claudia Chico, at timing those tackles. I think sometimes she just likes it when a player runs at her. She gets a chance to flex some skill in a battle. Really good in those kinds of duels. Hoban. Davis. Chico. Krajanak. Sending it out a long way to Josie Allen. Eventually regain control. Now Allen can run and go using her pace. Still no one there. Now picked up by Jackson, and Tonkin did well to shield the ball as it went out of play. Josie Allen just done really well all afternoon, creating. Hasn't got the luck yet, but if you are persistent, do keep trying. Eventually will go your way, and I think that's what Ryan Campbell is hoping for his side in terms of creating chances. Eventually they will fall. Been unlucky at times, some of it has been on them, but if you keep creating, eventually something will come of it. Chico. Wilson. Pass wasn't the best, but managed to control. Sarah Morgan. Something that's so impressive about her. She's not the tallest player out there, but will fight for every ball. And Leon might be out in space so she can keep the ball in. She can't, just a little bit too quick for her. Sarah Morgan surrounded by blue shirts. Foul to Condon. And a good distributor. All things. This game. Possession stat. I believe it's increased since half-time. Nearing 60% if you are Newcastle. And that is what Ryan Campbell wants. He wants his side to have more possession. Struggled at times in games to really execute that. And for this man, Adrian Stentor, he must be very pleased with his side's determination and willingness to put their body on the line defensively in the first half. He is a big Rafael Nadal fan, and that is the kind of mentality he has when he plays tennis, and his side is certainly showcasing that in this game. Gallagher keeps it in play, but not for long. And look at that, shots on target, 7-2. And remember at half-time, Newcastle had 9 shots on. Adelaide, since getting that goal, have built that pressure and are really putting Krajinac under a lot of pressure. Allen, knocked away by McNamara. Take a look at that, Sean Dewey up against Copus Brown, just getting pulled back. Easy call. Now, a little bit of space for Fiona Works to operate in. Just biding her time, waiting for some support. And just giving up that angle, Newcastle. And Krajinac, comfortable save in the end, but very interesting choice from Newcastle to allow Fiona Works to cut inside and get a shot away. Nobody closed her down. One back. Morgan. For Adelaide, a side who, when you look at the touches and the passes completed, they don't necessarily usually go through their midfield centrally. And a side that likes to operate out wide, but we've seen the likes of Emily Condon, Sarah Morgan be very, very involved today. Jackson, and not on the same timing and page as Sheridan Gallagher. I wonder how long Ryan Campbell is going to persist with this starting 11. Will he make a change and bring on some impact subs, as they say. Krajanak. Chico. Wilson. Here, Ryan Campbell instructing his side where the next pass needs to go, but Aaron Healy said, not on my watch am I going to allow another pass to go. If you're going to telegraph it, I might as well listen as well. Healy to be pulled. Hodgson. Leon, too tall. Back ball that time. Allen. Hoban. In a foot race with Matilda McNamara. Had to stop to wait for some support. There is Josie Allen, who's seen her so much this game, leaving a lot of room for Matilda McNamara to attack that ball. She just left it too far ahead, that heavy touch. Allen. Turning on. So Matilda McNamara has just taken a bump from Sheridan Gallagher. It was just both players going for the ball that time. And a good, I don't even know if you can say it's a return. It's a good game back after going on a side quest, as they call it. Matilda McNamara good in the heart of defence. Leon. Wirtz. Nicely worked to Condon. Got Wirtz still on the right-hand side. Chico is going to be closely following, and Wirtz just leaving too much of that ball and showing too much to Claudia Chico. It's always going to be tough against Chico. You just can't give her any advantages. And a yellow card for Claudia Chico. I am not quite sure what for. It's not Claudia Chico, it's Fiona Wirtz. Just a little bit too much yapping. I always wonder what is really, as they say, cost-benefit analysis of arguing with the referee. You're not going to change their mind. More likely than not, you probably talk yourself into the book, and that's exactly what Fiona Wirtz has done. Chico. Krajanak. High ball. Sat in the air, though. Not sure who got a clip there, but you could hear the noise. Copus Brown continues. Snuffed out by Tonkin. McNamara. Finds Leon. Can she turn away? Doesn't need to. Healy just sits for a moment. And all the luck really is going with Adelaide. The luck running out a little bit short of that time. It's their Christmas magic. Maybe Santa brought an elf to this game. It's helping Adelaide out. The goal. Some jewels they're winning out. Again. Stands as Allen tries to keep it in play. Jackson. Dewey. Morgan. Hodgson, dangerous ball. Krajanak has to be alert. Easy collect. Leon, quick to react. Beat out Jackson. Sorry, Sophie Hoban that time. Sends it across, and there's the contact you need. And there's the second for Adelaide United. And this time, I do believe Fiona Wirtz gets her goal. Well worked, well deserved, particularly in this second half. Good ball from Leon, and Wirtz, as she's done all season, been so prolific in the box. Every single goal she has scored this season has been inside the 18-yard box, and slotting her away, her 5th goal, Fiona Wirtz. Second in the Golden Boot race, Emily Gilnick, and 6 goals to her name. And Fiona Wirtz said, I'm coming for that title. May have not been given the first one. Look at Santa, smiling. Look at that. I think Santa's got a little bit to do with this game. Some Christmas magic is going on here at Adelaide, searching for their first home win of the season. Fiona Wirtz making the Red Army very, very happy. Worth the trip, worth the drive. Red hot goal scoring form, and this Adelaide performance in this season so far was in the year in which they made the finals. They were conceding a lot of goals as well as scoring them. This season they've been much better defensively. Maybe that's some luck, maybe that is down to execution as Josie Allen tries to beat out Zoe Tolan. Ball a little bit too high. Jackson. And that effort from Davis blocked away. Wirtz not able to collect it, but as I mentioned there, defence is much improved, Adelaide. Haven't changed a whole lot. They've seemed so much more secure in their structure as a unit. If you're Adrian Stenter, they needed to get some sort of identity if it was defensive, as Lauren Allen comes clattering in. There's 3 players, Jenkins, McNamara, Allen, all getting up, all able to continue. It's a good ball through, very inviting for Allen to boot on, and she did get a boot onto it, and then it came off McNamara, I believe, as well, on its way out. So it will be a corner for the Newcastle Jets. Opus Brown headed away, only as far as Allen. Back to Copus Brown, up against Sarah Morgan. Gets the ball into the box, and it's still bubbling around. What can they do? Can it sit for someone? It can't, and now Wirtz up against Copus Brown. Is certainly getting pulled, Fiona Wirtz, and there's got to be a card shown for that, surely. That's exactly what happens. That pull was obvious you're going to get. Wirtz certainly had a bit of Copus Brown, but Copus Brown was the instigator and probably needed to be to avoid Fiona Wirtz and Adelaide getting a third. We are going to see a substitution. And it's Mallory Mullen who comes on to replace Lucia Leon, who's had a good bit of production all game. Set up the second. It's a great effort this afternoon. And now Mallory Mullen inches on to see out all 3 points for Adelaide. was a right idea to try and flick it on, but couldn't direct it the exact way. Allen, like a pinball machine, and eventually works out for Adelaide. Gallagher working quickly. McNamara able to snuff out that chance. Davis, Bauman. One beat. Can they get the delivery right? Dangerous, inviting ball. Allen at the far post. Jenkins needs to be careful. Still bobbling around. Off her line, Jenkins. All Newcastle needs to do get a shot away. The ball just wouldn't sit for them. It's been that sort of afternoon. Rose Allen just had to make some sort of contact. Gallagher went with the ambitious. And then Healy cleared it. And we see, I believe it's Emily Hodgson down on the ground. And I think there might be some blood coming out of her mouth, and that is not the sight you want to see at all. Big collision there. And there's going to be a Ninja A-League debut for Gia Vicari, who comes on to replace Sophie Hoban. Vicari's second ever professional stint. Played in the Danish leagues before. 6 goals in her time there. And take a look at that contact with Hodgson. I think she just got a straight elbow through from Josie Allen, who didn't intend on it, was just coming in for the ball, and that is going to be very, very painful. While that's happening, Ryan Campbell's having a discussion with Georgia Ghirardello on the bench about who's getting the ball, what's happening. There's a chance for his side to regroup, to discuss, figure out what the game plan is. How are they going to get themselves back in this game? How are they going to get Gia Vicari to make an instant impact? Get more from Sheridan Gallagher and Lauren Allen. It's been quiet afternoons for the two of them. Struggled at times. Here is Sienna Robertson. Debut back in this game. Newcastle winning 8-0 that day, but she had some big saves to make.
Xavier and Eli are playing the game with the girls.
So take a look at the 2 goals that separate these sides. The ball in from Condon. Wirtz got the first shot away, and then bundled through. Was listed as McNamara. I'm just wondering, did Fiona Wirtz get that touch? Not quite sure. And then the second, this one was definitely Fiona Wirtz. Lucia Leon. Beautiful ball in. Wirtz, as she's done all season, put her boot in the right place and knock it into the back of the net. Ryan Campbell was arguing it was their ball. Eventually, they got it back anyway. Gallagher. Vicari. First touch of the ball. Copus Brown. Will this inject some energy? Allen. searching for somebody, a teammate. Davis, see the pressure that Adelaide are applying. Here's the freedom that a goal provides you, and 2 now to really go out there and apply the pressure. Just play a little bit more free. Vakari. Inviting ball. Gallagher still bobbling around. Jenkins with a great recovery to deny Sheridan Gallagher. She hasn't been tested much, hasn't been asked to do a whole lot. But when she needed to, she did. Gallagher just blocked out by the post. And then Jenkins able to pounce on the ball to ensure no second effort. Wirtz. Through ball, Healy can't get it. So we're seeing Lauren Allen head off and India Breyer make her way into the field of play. Vakari. Smart pass into the path of Sheridan Gallagher. Was bundled over. No foul. McNamara 1 out. Fair and square.
Substitution for Adelaide United. Coming off number 8, Emily Condon.
Emily Condon be replaced. Katie Bowler coming on. A good afternoon for Emily Condon. Set up the first goal with a great delivery into the box. Placed it perfectly. Got it all kick-started for this Adelaide United side who are all smiles on the bench. Positive vibes. And a positive football at the moment. Bauman, too strong with the touch that time. India Breyer just coming on, a young 18-year-old. Formerly with the Western Sydney Wanderers. Wilson. Allen. And the tech is there from Josie Allen to find Copus Brown. Wilson. Good hard work from Adelaide as usual. Defensively, Chico has to be mindful. Krajanak just sends it high. Not very far though. It may just fall ever so nicely for Katie Bowler. And eventually it does win them a free kick. The ball just sat up in the air for too long. The wind held it up. And they just couldn't get control, Newcastle. Cass Davis called for the foul. So impressive, Cass Davis. Just her consistency, her reliability. When I say never misses a game, never misses a game at all. She's the all-time appearance leader for the Newcastle Jets. When she can get on the score sheet, they always seem to be bangers. No tap-ins for Cass Davis. I think it's a rule she has. They're going to need to stop every single threat here in Newcastle. Ensure they still have a chance in this game, and that's a good ball. Krajanak forced to make a big save. Tonkin. Daniel Krajanak right underneath. I believe that ball was from Sean Dewey. Against the box. Davis, Breyer, need to lift the energy, and that's exactly what Ryan Campbell is asking for. They have to lift Newcastle, have to show some more fight. 2-1 is such a dangerous scoreline if they can get themselves there. And that's a good ball. Caught in between a few. The offside flag has gone up. Gallagher was the closest threat for Newcastle that time. Wilson up against it, dragged down. It looked like Katie Bowler waved away. Given straight back, Healy. Sustained pressure from Adelaide against Newcastle. Healy gets an angle. That ball rising, rising, and never dipping. Jackson. Bauman. High ball, sitting up. Falls for Copus Brown, who gets a touch. Headed up, off the crossbar. And finally cleared away the danger. There is some charm going on with the Adelaide goal. There's some charm working with Claudia Jenkins. Really good to get a touch on the first shot to push it onto the bar. And the subsequent efforts must have sent just a shiver down the spine of Adrian Stenser. Copus Brown. Headed away by Tonkin. Wirtz. Just going to say, go for a chase, go for a run. And Claudia Chico up against her opposite number 3 and Mallory Mullen. Probably felt really confident about that. Vakari. Distribution so far has been really good. India Breyer. Cutting, twisting and turning. Trying to unlock. And she may have just been unlocked. And there's Vakari straight at Jenkins. Copus Brown, Davis. Back to Copus Brown. Just a little bit too much there. They're trying to force it. Jay Vakari, her passing so far in this game. The limited minutes we've seen her on the park. It's going to be a threat for Newcastle. It's going to be something they're going to be able to utilise as the season continues, so long as she stays fit. Wirtz up against it. Sandwiched between a few. Smart defending by Newcastle. Bauman. Jackson. Breyer. Got Copus Brown in the middle of the box with Sheridan Gallagher. Vakari there as well. Sending across the ground this time, and Gallagher couldn't get an outstretched boot on the ball. Goes out for a goal kick. Ball's living a charmed life. So Emma Dundas making her way onto the park. Isabel Rowley as well. So all outfield players. Sheridan Gallagher is done for the afternoon. All outfield players have come on for Newcastle. There's no real changes that Ryan Campbell can make. But can they find something in the last stage of this game? They leave Adelaide with nothing. Jackson. Kokopis Brown making the run. There's Vakari. Cleared by Toland. Toland, considering how early she got that yellow card, has done a really good job so far in this game of staying out of the book for a second time. Also, not really having a lot to deal with one-on-one. Adelaide, as a unit, have done well shielding her. Copus Brown headed away by McNamara. Spin and a clearance. And so it is going to be a season debut for Chelsea Dorber. And we're also going to see the introduction of Miley Grigg. So Wirtz to be replaced by Dorber. And Grigg. Going off for Chelsea Dorber. It's been a minute since we saw her. Last game she played was Adelaide taking on Newcastle, that final game of last season, that 8-0 loss. She didn't play the full game. Sean Dewey off the park, but had a hip injury during the off-season. Got that sorted. Was expected to miss some time early on, but it's great if you are Adelaide. 2 goals up to bring a threat like that onto the field of play. Get some match minutes, get some confidence. Jenkins. In the midst of all the substitutes, Isabel Rowley, her first game in the Ninja A-League. The American, born in 2000. First sight of her, so another player Newcastle brought in during the off-season, a defender by trade. That's a dangerous ball across. Krasanak came out off her line. Didn't get the distance. That ball was lost in the air. Chelsea Dorber. First sight of Rowley. And now that ball's left behind. Krasanak made herself big. They've got to move quickly, Newcastle. They're running out of time. And Adelaide close out for another clean sheet. Turn away from Bowler. Mullen. Still Mullen. Ball falling nicely. Just going to send it across, but there's never really any danger with that. But this is the danger. Erin Healy picking it up. Just these efforts, those moments at times, Newcastle, they haven't been quick to react. Breyer using a burst of pace. And then snuffed out by Sarah Morgan. Pass, not of the same quality or caliber as the previous action. Bakari. What is going through Adrian Stenter's mind? Certainly one of those things has got to be how impressed he's been with his side's ability to take their chances when they needed to, but also withstand a tremendous amount of pressure. Those kinds of little wins in the midst of a game will prove to be valuable as the season goes on when they face even more adversity as that ball's poked through. Can they break away? Forced wide was Millie Gregg. For him, maybe he needs to have a chat to Santa in the stands about getting some help, a little bit of luck with their goal scoring. They had chances, they had moments. Not sure if there's some hex or something that's going on with the Newcastle Jets goal scoring form, but it's just lacking the consistency they need to really be a threat. They certainly have the players and they have the capabilities, and they've showed flashes throughout the season. Just that consistency through 90 minutes that they've lacked at times and have cost them. A far better performance defensively overall. We've seen all those self-inflicted wounds that we've seen in the early stages of the season, so that's a positive. Just need to get the whole package sorted and really get their season kick-started. Just been a little bit stop-start as Claudia Chico. A little bit late with that against Chelsea Dorber. Tonkin. That ball just flashed through. I think everybody may have lost it momentarily as it came from the shadows into the sun. We're going to have 5 minutes added on to this game. Healy up against Bauman. Just going to send it wide. Are they done with their goal-scoring attempts? The corner flag seems to be something Erin Healy's searching for, but doesn't find it. %62 possession, so that is also a win for Ryan Campbell. That's what he wants. He wants his side to have more possession of the ball to dictate play. Just where are they having those passages of possession? What can he change to just loosen this side up and play with that sense of freedom and confidence they had last season that was so infectious? Such a great team to watch. Rowley out to Breyer. Substitute to substitute. Breyer gets it into the box, but can't get past McNamara. Breyer continuing the hunt for the ball. Bakari just left it behind. Prajanak. Rowley. Straight to the Reds. That's a smart back heel. Just didn't have enough power on it. And now able to be pounced on. Ball left short. Dorber not able to continue the chain. Jenkins. Jackson. Still, they fight, they search. Newcastle, Breyer stopped that time. And lively, the substitutions coming on. Got that from around Josie Allen. Jackson. Once again, Tilda McNamara. Just acting like Gandalf, really. You shall not pass every single time. Really good performance. Defensively all game. Breyer stands over the ball. Can we get a late twist in this game? Too short, but got a flick on. And Ella Tonkin isn't going to lose out. Applying some pressures, Chelsea Dorber. Vakari. Chris Brown drifted offside. Up next for Adelaide, they head all the way to Perth. It's a Perth Glory side who have conceded a lot of goals this season, given up a lot of chances. They'd welcome that contest. And for Newcastle, they're up against Sydney FC, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen the score of the previous game, Sydney FC 2-1 loses to Western United on the day. So this ball might fall. It falls nicely for Krajinac to clear. The two sides will be searching for all 3 points, and it's Adelaide United. Maybe with a little bit of luck from Santa, an early Christmas present for Adrian Stenter and his side. All 3 points, their first home win of the season. They were under a lot of pressure in the first half, but that goal for Matilda McNamara to close it out really sparked them in the second half, and they were far better. Didn't have a lot of the ball, but when they had it, they capitalised, they scored. Fiona Wirth getting her 5th goal of the season. Once again, showing why she's won the Julie Dolan medal, but Matilda McNamara, fresh from a trip with the Matildas, landed this morning in Adelaide to play this game. Probably was tired, but a fantastic performance for all of the Adelaide side. An important 3 points for Adrian Stenter, winning this game. Adelaide United 2, Newcastle Jets 0. And this is how the scoring got underway. Condon with the good ball in. Wirtz got the first bit of the ball, and then it was just a bit of chaos. And like they do in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles, a tush push, and they just pushed that ball over the line. Didn't care how it happened. They got the goal. Really sparked the life in Adelaide. And Lucia Leon finding Fiona Wirtz. The timing, outstretched legs. She's done it so well this season, been so lively in the box. It's exactly what you want from your number 9, to be prolific, to take their chances. And then this for Sheridan Gallagher, just the post, and Claudia Jenkins denying her. She was about to make that last-ditch effort. You saw Gia Vakari, the American, coming in with that pass. Something that's promising for Ryan Campbell to look forward to. But this is not what you're after if you are the Newcastle Jets, but if you're Adelaide United, fantastic. 11 shots, 9 on target, and that's continuing the pattern they've had all season. They've been really, really effective when they've taken their shots on goal. For Newcastle, 15 shots, 4 on target. That needs to lift as this season continues. A lot of possession, so there are some wins for Ryan Campbell. He wants more possession for his side. There's still lots to work on. But for Adelaide United and for Adrian Stentz, that's all 3 points, and that's all that matters. And it is Western